Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and today I'm going to talk about Despicable Me 4. Look, I've come a long way with Illumination. I used to totally hate them, hate everything they made, think it's total cookie cutter garbage that has no soul. But look, Chris Meledandri seems like a nice guy. I like his interviews. Lately, he's the only head of a major animation studio that has been openly against AI. I think that's wonderful. He seems really cool in interviews. Actually, seems like a great guy. I've never met him, but seems like a great guy. My kids love the Super Mario Brothers movie and the Sing movies. And you'd think I would be cool and I'd let them see this, which they didn't actually want to. So, Despicable Me movies can usually be better than the Minion ones and all that. But this movie is really horrible. There's really no way around. There's no real point to any of it. The villain is so inconsequential. It's like almost like it's a placeholder, and they have Will Ferrell in the role. They have several villains. They have sometimes a plot. They had actually a plot with the daughter where she gets glitter bombed at school, which I think is just because one of them saw something that was trendy or something. I don't really understand. I think Gru goes, "Oh, I feel so bad for you," and then they just like never bring up that she's being teased again. Like it brings up plot lines and then drops them. Like basically like has interesting voice actors, like someone like Stephen Colbert, has him do like fucking nothing. Like I didn't know Chloe Fineman was in this movie, but she is. Why? I don't know, because they don't let her do anything. Like it is really horrible, and I don't understand what we're even doing here. It feels like a random episode of a kind of boring ass cartoon. It doesn't feel like a movie at all. And it's basically like Gru and his family, and they have a baby, Gru now and stuff, and they're gonna go to, maybe they did before, but I don't really watch these like more than once. So like I recognize parts, but it's like I think the baby's new. The baby's new, right? I didn't look it up. I don't want to look it up. The baby, let's just say he's new. So like they have a baby. The movie acts like he looks new. I don't know. They go. The villain, who's Will Ferrell, who's part insect. Why? I don't fucking know. I mean, why was Trey Parker in the last one an 80s guy? I don't know that either, but whatever. So but he's an instinct person, and they went to school together, and because these are the kind of movies that like to project like that high school still matters to you when you're in your 40s, which if it does, you're fucking pathetic. Like I don't think about that shit. Like what is wrong with it? I don't understand why that's a mainstream culture thing. Like people still sit around and think about like the cool girl in prom. Like I don't get that, but whatever. I have to sit through these plots all the time, so yeah, that's the thing that you still care about, I guess, when you're a grown-up person, and I have to act like it's the thing. Okay, whatever. Anyway, so he's upset and whatever, and he's like, "I'm gonna take your baby," or something. He's like Rumpelstiltskin, which he doesn't reference. He's just whatever. So he's gonna do that, and then they're like, "Oh, we gotta hide the family because we're the anti-villain league," and they do, and then they have to change their names and host of problems and all that stuff. There are some good things. This movie ended. No, I mean, that is a good thing. There were some plot lines I feel like they could have stuck with. But the Poppy plot line, which originally, they totally changed her mid-movie, which I don't know what happened behind the scenes, because Mike White co-wrote this, who wrote White Lotus, I guess is his bigger thing recently, but in my mind, he's the guy who wrote School of Rock and Shuck and Buck, movie review vote nominee, I guess. But he was always a writer I thought was cool, and he co-wrote this. I couldn't tell. I didn't actually know that until before I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Couldn't tell, actually. And apparently he was going to co-direct it and be more involved, and then looking at the credits, he's not. And I'm wondering, maybe there's some problems or something, why this is so messy. I don't know, but I really couldn't tell Mike White had any involvement. I'm not sure if he's like a big enough of a screenwriter to do two jokes or do a draft and none of the shit's in it and they have to credit him or something. I don't know, but it really felt like there was no point to any of it. It just felt like, hey, we made another sequel, and it didn't feel like the concept was good enough. But anyway, yes, the Poppy storyline. Originally, she's the villain to the oldest girl, who's still voiced by Miranda Cosgrove, so good for her. Then she becomes like Gru's enemy, and she like forgets about the girl. Like the oldest girl is like the Megan Family Guy of this, basically. Like they have stuff with her, and then they just like, let's just stop doing that. Nobody cares anymore. They have a whole thing with Gru and Poppy, and that was actually interesting. And I was like, why didn't they make her the villain? Like that's such a more interesting idea. Is that she knows he's Gru by doing a pretty easy internet search. So I don't know how good this witness protection thing is that he's in, and she wants him to do a heist with her, and he's like teaching her the ropes and stuff, and like I thought that was actually a better plot than like the thing with Will Ferrell. And Will Ferrell, like, they don't let him do any Will Ferrellisms. He's just like doing a dumb voice and stuff, and it, like, I don't know, I kind of think one of the things like from last time is like when they had Trey Parker, it was like, whoa, this is wild that they got Trey Parker. And this is like, oh, they got Will Ferrell, and that doesn't seem hard. I kind of wish they'd got someone who were like, whoa, they got him, and it's like, oh. I mean, yeah, it felt like that would have happened at some point. Like, it just didn't feel, I don't know, and it wasn't a great Will Ferrell performance. It's kind of like very phoned in, and like a lot of this movie, like they have interesting voice actors, like, or interesting actors like Sofia Vergara or Kristen Wiig or Miranda Cosgrove or Steve Carell, or like, you know, everybody in this, and like they give them like jack shit, and it's like, why did you cast this movie this way? Like, I don't know, like just for the name recognition, like I can't, like, why is Chloe Feynman in this? Like, what's the point of that? Like, I don't understand. Like, good for her, she's making money, but like I don't get it. It just feels sort of like I feel like this movie is a waste of money and time and energy. It's like, I sort of get the minions stuck in the vending machine. Everybody seems to like that. That was like, okay. It's just like, I don't like these movies. I don't think they're worthwhile. I don't think they're good. It's not good animation. It's not good storytelling. It's not good movie making. This movie, it's some of the Despicable Me's, like 2, and I think I was okay about 3. Honestly, I forget because I don't care about these movies. Like, they did their 80s song thing, which they always do, but it's just like I kind of didn't feel like this was an event of any kind, and like they didn't even try to make it one. And I'm like, are you guys even like, or oh yeah, and the super minions, which you could cut out of the movie. Like, they have nothing to do with anything. Like, they show up in the finale and don't actually fight them, which I was like, what? That is clearly just to have McDonald's toys and merchandise. Like, that really pissed me off, because I'm like, I've seen, you know, SpongeBob did the superhero thing like 10 years ago, and now the minions are just like, it just felt odd. Like, I know everything is like, what if we give this and their superpowers, and kids will love it, and kids do love it, but like, what are you saying with it? And like, I don't think they had an answer at all. Like, they weren't saying anything with this movie, you know. I did like when the lady was running in the grocery store and she pushed over a cow, and I think it sort of looked like the cow from Cow and Chicken, and I thought about Cow and Chicken, and that was cool, because that's a good cartoon. This, however, is not. This is a horrible cartoon. Illumination is still like the soulless kind of like, you know, random movie at Kmart and Target kind of thing. It's like as artistically interesting as that is. And I'm not saying it in a judgy way. I'm saying it in a way that this is product. That's all this is. This is product. That's all they seem to care about. That's how they operate. Chris Meledandri is a smart businessman. You know, he made a good business decision, but this is like the least interesting movie I've seen this year. Like, there's nothing. This is as interesting as Styrofoam. It's like Styrofoam you wish someone would light on fire, because you're like, oh, look, it did a thing. And this is not even that good. I don't get the minions. I don't think they're funny. I don't think Gru's funny. I don't think Illumination is good at making cartoons. They're just not. They're not funny. They're not compelling. They're not well animated. They're not a good studio, okay? like creatively, they kind of stink. And like, you know, I think the Mario movie worked out. They had a lot of pressure on them. They nailed that, actually. I think it might be their best movie. Sing's fine. Maybe Hop, we sometimes watch. That sucks. They didn't bring back Russell Brand, so good for them. But overall, it's like, if you like Despicable Me, I guess you hate yourself and you'll see this movie. But if you like animation and like cartoons and have taste and stuff, I don't think this would be good for you. I don't show these to my kids. I'm hoping we can get through the childhood thing without the fucking minions. I don't want to hear my kids say banana like that. And that would really crush my soul. But this is horrible. It's just, these are horrible movies. Like, I don't know what is wrong with all of you. Like, why do we see these things? Like, there's nothing redeeming about this. It is literally like bad soda pop, like left out in the sun, and then it gets rained on, and then it's just there, and you drink it and you hate yourself. I don't know what that was, but anyway, this movie's just not very good. I don't think Illumination. I think Chris Meledandri rehabbed his image to all of us animation fans, and I respect him for taking a stance on AI, and I guess for bringing back Shrek or whatever. But this is real forgettable garbage, and there's just nothing interesting about this movie whatsoever. I hope the AC is working in the theater. Parents maybe set a timer for 140 minutes. Like, there's just no reason to be awake during this. It's not even worth staying awake for, which I don't know why I did. I clearly don't like myself. So if you don't like yourself, I guess you can see Despicable Me 4 and, think about Cow and Chicken or whatever. That's what I did. Anyway, yeah. So if you've seen Despicable Me 4 and you would like to talk about it, comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.